Hello everyone, Canon Lowy here, and this time I have Arknights. And I have mentioned that I was playing Arknights in one of my Canon Chat videos, which only a few people watch, and I wanted to do a showcase of what it is for anyone who was unfamiliar to see if anyone was interested in this game that did not really know about it or wanted to find out more information on it. And I was able to get Arknights on PC, which this is a game that is for phones. But I was able to put it on PC by using a app called BlueStacks, and BlueStacks allows you to get apps from the Google Play Store and play them on PC to have higher resolution, or just playing it on PC in general. And also you can play this on a tablet as well. And I'm just gonna go to the depot here just so that Platinum there doesn't keep interrupting me. So, this game is a tower defense gacha game, and for those unfamiliar, gacha games mean that they have very low rates on the highest rarity of, or most desirable things in the game. And Arknights is no exception to that, but everything that I have gotten, I have not spent a cent on this game. So everything that you see here that I've gotten is from a free-to-play perspective and is completely achievable. I started playing this game roughly at the start, near the end of the Code of Brawl event, which was, I think, in July of this year. So I've been playing this game for just about 5 months, and this is what I have accumulated throughout that time. And I kind of wanted to show which operators that I have. So they have up to 6 stars, which typically gacha games usually go to 5 stars, so Arknights is kind of interesting in that they chose to have 6 stars. And I have 10 of the 6 stars while being completely free to play, and also a ton of 5 stars and whatnot. So the reason why I wanted to put this out there is because even though that, yes, getting the highest rarity characters, like, they incentivizes paying money to get them, you can get them eventually as a free-to-play player. And you also get one of them from the beginner free banner, or whatever you want to call that. And also they do have a system in there that you can get premium currency per week. So eventually you can get the pulls or tries to get these characters, as well as they have kind of like they have a system in place that eventually you can just like outright guarantee that you buy the one that you want to. So I kind of wanted to throw that out there. So Arknights is very unique in that you actually do not need 6 stars in order to succeed in this game. It is usually more difficult, of course, but you don't actually need to have 6 stars in order to beat all of the content, or at least with exception of the hardest game mode, contingency contract. That one, depending on which one it is, you might need a specific 6 star or at least very good units in order to achieve that. So the most common 3 star that people use is Melantha here. So she has very high hit points, very high attack, as well as a talent that increases her attack when she's deployed, so around 800 attack, and has a skill that increases her attack by 50%. And this is a 3 star, so to put that into perspective, she has about the same attack as 6 stars do. So rarity in this game well, the higher the rarity is, the more powerful typically they are, but that's not true for everybody. Another one is Midnight here, who has the ability to change his damage type to magical damage. Well, they call it arts damage in this game. And that is very important. And I don't think there is any... Well, there is a 5-star that does this, but changes damage type while being the same style as Midnight, but he has a manual activation. So basically, being completely free to play, you can get all of the characters, or at least the important ones that you want eventually, as well as you don't actually need super high rarity characters in the first place in order to beat, I would say, 90% of the content. And they also give you a few 5-stars for free, which the main one being Amiya, if I can find mine. You get her for free, so 5-star caster, as well as Cliffheart. I think you get through the story missions. So the reason why I wanted to show Arknights today is because the Grani event is happening right now, and it is very free. It is very new player friendly. And how events typically work is by just playing the event, the stages, or getting the currency, however they choose to do them. You get a free 5-star from them, as well as getting the maximum potential, which is basically the duplicates. Like, you can get up to 5 duplicates to get small bonuses to the character. So you get one that's completely maxed out, essentially. And Grani is overall pretty good. If you get her to promotion 1, she gets basically a lesser ability of bagpipe. But since I already have bagpipe Elite 2, I just don't have a use for Grani. But if you're a new player, she is very good from what I can tell from just looking at it. So today, with all of that out of the way, I wanted to do some of the event stages in a video. So we're just going to do a few of these EX stages, and I did do the first one on my own, or as I was doing it, I didn't really think about it. It says that the recommended level is only level 40. It really wasn't too hard if you have decent ranged characters, so I wanted to do these other ones. And it looks like the HX is like the hard mode stages. Yes. So let's see what I got here. So I'm actually going to take out a few of these. And I actually do not want to have like all these 6 stars in here. Just because, like I said, you don't really need them necessarily in order to succeed, so... And since I don't actually know what this stage does, I'm going to actually put Midnight on there. And let's use Gabrielle for the healer. I'm just seeing who I even have leveled up at this point. When you get so many characters, you do have to kind of look through them to see which ones are leveled up here. And then and hopefully this will be and I do know that a few of them do have story stuff that I will want to look at because because I haven't done these yet. And this event was way before I even started the game. So as a tower defense game, basically you just try to stop the enemies from going to one end of the screen to the other. But each one does have its own special gimmicks. Let's just put it that way. So here, the tiles that are highlighted is their attack range, and each skill has their own timer for when you can activate them. And of course, knowing when to activate them is going to be very important. And some units can both do melee and ranged units are usually on these elevated tiles here. And since this event is, like I said, very new player friendly, these stages aren't super difficult if you know what you're doing. So let's actually speed it up here. So far, so good. $300 attack, 318. Okay. And if you retreat an operator, or if they get knocked out, like Courier there, they do have a timer. So losing a lot of units in a short amount of time is quite detrimental. So there we go. Not too bad at all. And here is some story elements to the event. I'm just going to read this mentally, so if you want to just move the slider of the video to skip over this, that would be just fine. And all of the story events, for the most part, are in this visual novel type style, which works quite well for a phone game. And I will say that the artwork is usually very good. So I will say though, for the primary story of the game, because of course this being an event, it's kind of its own standalone story that's not super related to the actual main story. The first 2 chapters of the main story, I would say they definitely could have been better. Like, they were kind of rough on the story, and it was more about world building, but they definitely improved, I would say, from like chapter 3 onwards. And as soon as you finish a stage, it allows you to auto deploy. So if you're farming a stage for a certain material to level up your operators, it will try to copy what you did in that stage in order to basically allow you to AFK grind it. So let's see what this next. So basically only the slugs were of consideration. So I'm actually going to switch out Grani here. And hopefully that'll be good. Like I said, I'm trying not to use my heavily invested into units here. Okay. And stage gimmicks like this one, these tiles will have your operator's defense. So it's very important to consider those. Because like that, they can make a big difference. So I am gonna actually need a medic in this one. First, I'm gonna need someone to block them, though.
この瞬間をこの一撃で治療してほしいやつは前に出ろ。用意。この切っ先で貫く。
Okay, that'll be good.
ゴミのように惨めに付き合い。ご命令を。ご命令を。無情の風よ、凍りつけ。私の血のごとく。あらがむなかれ。
So yeah, now that I have a solid defense, hopefully that will be enough. Ooh, big Hedum. So sometimes, of course, naturally, they have boss enemies that you need to deal with. And depending on the stage, they will influence the map and add gimmicks to the stage. But usually, they just have either a lot of defense, a lot of health, or a lot of attack, and or all three. As you can see here, even as a defender with nearly 3000 HP, the boss did tons of damage. So, with this, am I even gonna have enough to kill him? I guess not. Yeah, I don't think so. So I guess I'll need some more caster operators for that one. So just like a lot of mobile games, especially gacha ones, this game does have a like energy meter type thing. In this game it's called sanity. So it essentially limits how much you can do every day. And while that sounds very counterintuitive, this game, I would say it actually works in its favor, because if you unlock and fully upgrade all of the operators, or at least all of the major ones, right from the start, it makes a lot of stages significantly easier, so it might take away from the challenge of using operators like this, you know, where they're not fully upgraded and they they don't have like super crazy skills, because some of the 6 stars have abilities that can basically kill everything within their attack range fairly easily, unless it's a super tanky boss. And I think that really that getting all of that getting all of that right away can really take away from your enjoyment of the game, potentially. So I think, let's look at supporters. So I think that might actually be all that I need. Let's look at vanguards here. Okay. So this time I'm actually going to do a slightly different approach here. Okay, hopefully this will do it. So yeah, this Obsynth, she was a free operator from a previous event, and I did get her to Elite 2, so she's a lot more powerful than a lot of these other units that I've brought with me this time, so maybe I shouldn't have picked her, but she's quite good. So you might think that, oh, well, a free operator might not be super amazing. I would say that they are actually pretty decent. They might not be, like, absolutely groundbreaking, but I think they're very good in their own, at what they do, usually. Let's have Courier here to get some more deployment points again. Yeah, like she now has 1100 of attack because of her skill. Which even for 6-star casters, having that on every single attack isn't something that they can even do, but they usually have like burst damage skills. Or other things going for them, of course. So I have enough deployment points. So I'm gonna put her there. So I should easily be able to beat him this time because I brought her with me in the group. So now it's just a matter of taking another shot at him. And there we go. So from completing these stages, we got some more event currency, 2,000 actually, which is quite good. And from this event, we get the Grani's potentials, as well as some high-ranking materials for upgrading your units. So there is, I think, 6 days left of this event, and even if you start today, that you should be able to at least get Grani as an operator, though getting all of her potentials in addition to that, if you don't have any leveled up units, that might be a stretch. But like I said, Grani, from the look of it, her skills are very good for her archetype. So with 1,000 currency, I am actually probably going to go ahead and get those. These. But yeah, if you've already been playing this game and you already have leveled up units, and for whatever reason you've taken a break from this game, or you just didn't know that there was an event going on, this event hasn't been too difficult to complete, and you get some freebies from it. The last event, the Twilight of Wall Mode, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce that. That was a very that was definitely much more difficult than this one was. Well, than this one has been. And if I was using my 6 stars that I have leveled up, then I wouldn't think that it would be very difficult. So it says Elite to level 20 on this one. So I think I'm going to do this stage here, and then I'll put my final thoughts together. So, let me look at this map again. So, we have defense reducing range tiles. That's interesting. And we get roadblocks though. Okay. Roadblocks can be manipulated to be pretty overpowered. I am actually going to switch my defenders, I think. So since this one is a little bit harder, I'm actually going to show off at least a few 6 stars here. Trying to think who I should really be bringing along with me, and what would be a bit too much and what wouldn't be. Bring silence as well. But I still don't think I am, well, besides bagpipe, I don't think I'm going too overboard with this setup here. So let's give it a shot. Because if I used like Aefiola, which is a 6-star caster, she has pretty overpowered damage for sure. So bagpipe is actually pretty crazy in and of herself, because she can do that. Like, she gains 1200 attack, and she hits 3 times in a row. So it just becomes a little bit ridiculous. But at the same time, not all 6 stars are... Actually, that was probably pretty bad placement by me. Okay, here we go.
殺の木水くんぞよく行使し相譲らん。私もこんなの嫌だよ。集中。了解。すなわちなぜこの私がお前ら劣等品のために時間を浪費しなくてはならない。
So yeah, roadblocks, they can be pretty crazy because you can funnel all of these enemies in one direction. So yeah, so far this one has just been kind of a power check in the sense of having high enough level operators as well as enough arts damage to defeat these guys. So not too terribly bad. And then we have Big Adam again. So let's see what we got. Go ahead and get rid of this archer here. This sniper. Oof. So yeah, let's see if we can get rid of him this time. Oof. Yeah, I would definitely say that this is that this game, like, it's a lot easier to react to things on the phone. You know, just tapping it rather than how it is on PC here. Seems that we got him, yep. The plot thickens. So yeah, it looks like we got all of the challenge missions done. Well, all of the HX stages. But we can also do challenge mode. So the reason why you would do challenge mode as well as these extra hard stages, well, besides the event currency, of course. Oh, I guess that one didn't actually give event currency. But you get what's called Arknight Prime, which is essentially the premium currency of the game. So how they do it is kind of interesting, whereas this Arundum stuff is like what you actually use to get more characters, and that is what you get from what they call Annihilation. You can get 1,700 per week, and then you get, I think, 1,200 from just doing daily missions and the weekly missions. And every 10 tries is 6,000, so roughly you get 5 tries per week. But the reason why you would want to get the Arknight Prime is that not only you can convert it to Arundum, which as a free-to-play player I do not recommend, but you can get outfits. So during this event, as well as just naturally, they have different outfits that come out for various characters. So for the characters that you like, you can dress them up a bit. For an example, Grani has her own outfit from this rerun, which is kind of nice. I quite like the look of it. I just decided not to get it because as a free-to-play player, you do not actually get, well, you do get a decent amount of Arknight Prime because it's from like the first time you clear stage as well as the challenge mode, but I like Granny's normal outfit. So that's why I'm not getting that as of right now. But yeah, challenge mode is basically or challenge version of the stages just adds an extra modifier to the map. For an example, like this said, the combo box is tripled, the attack speed of all enemies is increased, that sort of thing. Which I'll just clear this on my own. So yeah, and then by doing the event thing usually has like some sort of thing where you can get event currency just by clearing the stages, as well as your first time clears, as well as you can farm it from doing the event or stages over and over and over for farming materials. And then you can get stuff from the shop. So like the last event, the Twilight of Waltamode, or however you say that, that was probably like the most generous event I've ever seen, because they gave out a free operator, which actually turned out to be very unique, being a medic that can also deal damage. But also they gave out like 600,000 credits, I think 4 of the highest level of one of the materials, the polymerization preparation and stuff like that. So I would say that if you participate in events, you are of course going to get a ton of stuff. Oh, and then this is like the chapter select screen. So like episode 1 is kind of like 2 parts right there. And then as the story goes along, the harder and harder it becomes, and then you can farm materials from this, or like each stage gives you some sort of materials that you can farm over and over. So like that's what I meant by having the sanity meter actually kind of works in Arknights' favor, which is not always the case for games like that. And yes, I'm looking at you, Genshin Impact. But this game, it makes it so that you need to decide which operators you want to upgrade, and whether or not they are actually going to be good when you fully upgrade them. And typically what I would recommend is not getting anyone to Elite 2 unless you are 100% certain that you are going to use them, or you just can easily get the materials. Like for 4 stars, they are actually relatively cheap to Elite 2, so I mean, if you upgrade a few of those to Elite 2 to the maximum promotion, it's not going to be so bad. But if it's like a 5-star like Hung or someone like that, that is a little bit more gimmicky and isn't as versatile, that might not be as good. As well as, like, if you have someone who does shift pulling, you're only going to need one of those realistically. So don't invest too much on like multiple of the same archetype unless you know you can use like more of them on the field at one time. So stuff like shifts, operators, you don't really need more than 1, potentially 2, but that's pretty much about it for that. So overall, this has been Arknights. So if you liked what you saw for the gameplay, I know that I didn't really go too in depth of what you can do, or too many like gimmicky stages. And since, of course, like I said, this event has been much more new player friendly, they didn't really have like superly hard stages. I would say the last event, as well as the contingency contract, were significantly harder than this by far. The contingency contract 1 Pyrite was pretty stressful, really. I was just lucky enough to prepare ahead enough to have the operators that I needed to complete that. So this is the base where you basically just get passive income of stuff. So like you can get credits as well as like XP stuff from your base. So yeah, if I know I wasn't like really too talkative while I was concentrating on finishing the stages, but if you liked what you saw and you would want me to do more of these, let me know in the comments. So thank you very much for watching, and have a wonderful day.